Purerehua te purerehua, e warawa ki ranara, e piara ngā hau e wha, piara te rongo pai, ia ra te pai. Marire ho. Well, nei rā te mihi atu ki a koutou katoa ko Puoro Jerome tēnei. This is Puoro Jerome. And again, I'm coming from this beautiful ngahere here, kei te awa Whanganui, and right by Awa Tipua, Whanganui. Te Awa Tipua. So yeah, today we're going to be looking at the Purerehua, and the waiata I started off with was quite a well-known waiata, and of course by our beautiful tupuna matua Hirini Melbourne, eh? And yeah, for me, you know, I've said it a million times, he's been one of my greatest sort of inspirations in continuing his mahi around taonga Puoro. So, and even to this day, his waiata are amazing to me, and the reason why is because his waiata are coming from my perspective anyway. The kaupapa of his waiata are all about the taiao, all about the Atua, and lots of them around taonga Puoro. So one of my favourite musicians of all time, and I love to look at his waiata and wānanga just on even this one short beautiful waiata around the Purerehua. So nō reira e tō pāpā e hirini, moi maira, moi maira, moi maira. So yeah, we're looking at the Purerehua today, and just sharing some kōrero around how in my experiences, how I utilise the Purerehua for a rongoa. E rongoa anō, eh? And again, sometimes we tend to think of rongoa as our bush medicine, our medicine from our plant medicine, but rongoa comes in many forms, and taonga Puoro is definitely one of them, eh? So for me, it's the rongoa of sound. Yes, and how we utilise the kupu that was given to us, the kaupapa, the concept of is when we're utilising taonga Puoro as healing devices and reviving that practice of our tupuna, then the name we have for that waka is ORO Atua. And the ORO comes through the Puoro, and the Puoro come from the taiao. So this one that I've got, this small one that I use, is my indoor Purerehua, and you can get Purerehua made of all types of different materials, rākau, koiwi, bone from tohora, from the whale. You can get down into Waipounamu, there's ones made from Pounamu, they're beautiful. So yeah, I'm looking at that particularly today, the Purerehua. And when we look at the pūtaiao, the Purerehua is coming from the rerenga o te Purerehua, or the pepe, the moths and the butterflies, when they, you might have had a puriri fly past your ear at night. That used to happen to us a lot when we were little, when they were coming down from the maunga, and you'd get this sound that's very similar to the sound of the Purerehua. So I'm going to give it a bit of a play. This one is made from tōtara. So we're tuning into the essence of the tōtara, and then we're going to be bringing that in. And how you bring that into your tinan, into your entire being, is through the breath, eh? So, and I'll talk about it a lot on the other episodes, and it's that we don't just hear through our ears, eh? we can hear through many different senses. And one that I want to hone in on and talk about today is through the sensory of the tinana, and feeling that and bringing that through with your heart, with your breath, the hope, and bringing that into your pito. Bring the sound into your pito. So yes, we do hear with our taringa, and our taringa are very much part of the rongoa. And another part of the rongoa is the feel, yeah? And so we're going to bring that sound as we breathe in through the ihu, yeah? Then you're going to bring the sound in and welcome the sound in through your pito, through your umbilical, your belly button, which connected you through the rauru, the umbilical cord, to the whenua, and into the space of the whare tangata where you first began your physical life, in the whare tangata of our mothers. So we bring it in, and we welcome the sound in through here, through the pito, up, through past the puhu, and into the, through the lungs, the breathing, and then into the mako, the manoa space, through your heart, up through the korokoro. This is how I visualize it, and bring it in, and then through that space there into the, up into the ihu and into the whatu manoa, and the kakau o te tuatara, the third eye, just like a tuatara, with the window, the third eye, and then when you're breathing out on the exhalation, then I breathe out through my waha, but I'm pushing that sound up through my body and out, up through the pū moto moto. That's our fontanelle, that soft part that you had when we were babies, and then that comes up through the top of your head and connects up to Whanganui, eh? So it's just really about how we can draw on those energies and bring the sound through from Papatunaku through our bodies and up to Whanganui. So while I'm doing that, that all makes sense, I'm going to play the Purerehua here, this beautiful ngahere. And again, and I say it in all the other ones too, when we're playing in these spaces and we're, in terms of rongoa for ourselves, simultaneously we're also playing with the pūtaiao, the taiao here, with the Atua here, and this beautiful ngahere. So we're offering rongoa for everything and everyone, and in turn that's helping us too. So hope that all makes sense. And mena he whaketangi te pūrerehua nei, te pūrerehua te tōtara nā roe, kaitinihi, e karawhiua. That sound in, ka u, through the pito. Ka ha, your waha but up through the pūmoto moto. Ka u, ka ha, ka u, ka ha. Tōtara Purerehua. And you got to sort of watch out when you play the Purerehua. It's spinning at such a fast rate if you hit yourself again, it really hurts and do some damage. So just play it gently and softly, and watch out where it's spinning. Purerehua in our whānau, in our hapu, we we use the Purerehua for a few things, and some of the stuff I've been taught from my kui and crow is the Purerehua is a taonga puro we can use to help clear things. So when I was a bit younger, what happened in the whare was there was a bit of tautohe and a bit of a whawhai amongst our whānau. And the it was during the time of a tangihana, and it was getting a bit heated in there. So anyway, everyone sort of like calmed down a bit, and then as our whānau went off to have a bit of a kai, our kuia was asking me, can you play your Purerehua in here in the space just to help clear out that energy? And I thought, man, that's amazing. You know, it was straight away it made sense. I didn't ask any questions. I just got up and everyone had left the whare except for kuia and myself. And so there I was playing the Purerehua to help to clear that kind of like in that part of our hui, and you know, and to clear out and just to refresh. So that experience has stuck with me, and again, it's always guided by our kuia and karaua. It's they've been the ones that have really activated a lot of the practices for me. So you know, I didn't learn any of that sort of stuff from books or anything like that, or go to any kind of course around sound therapies or anything. It was all, it's all been formulated from our tūpuna and from our whānau and hapuru at home, and then put into practice, and through the experience. So so that was great. And from that one, which actually helped me to understand how you can also use the Purerehua to play over the top of somebody that's not feeling well. And that can be a physical thing, or it could be a mental thing. So usually what I'll do is I'll stand at the feet of a person as they're lying on the ground, and then I play my Purerehua, you know, well away from them but above them. What I've sort of come to learn and think about a lot was the shape that the Purerehua is making, because it can be seen as quite a simple taonga, but when you look at the movement of the Purerehua, and it's the same with the porotiti, what we have is a spinning circular motion. It's rotating at the same time. So when I am able to see the movement, it's a figure eight that's happening. A figure eight that's happening in a circular motion, and that's really magical to me. And of course, it's our type of science, our matauranga. So in terms of when you think about those shapes and the energy that's happening to the molecules in the air, what's happening is it's creating a funnel. And so I'll sit at the feet of the person, no, not sit, but stand at the feet of the person, and I play the Purerehua, and then I might move around them in a circle as well. Usually we'll do this outside because you've got plenty of space, And if we're doing it inside, it's usually to help to clear whare, or something like that, a bit of a whakawātea. And if the times for me anyway that it's been the most effective, and that's from feedback from our own people as well, is that when it's outside. So we have a space outside, and we get our whānau whoever's needing some rongo in that way, we get them to lie down on the ground, and then we stand at the feet, and then we have our korake, our ruruku, and then we begin our mahi and we start to play. So when you play the purerehua above, because you can play the purerehua above your head, right? And then you can play the purerehua in front of you, sort of like the propeller of a plane. But either way, it's creating a funnel. What I like to do though is to play above my head, and so the figure 8 with moving in a circle for me is drawing down that energy from above us. And then of course it's going to funnel down, and the idea is that we funnel the energy down to the person. And of course I'm receiving that too, because I'm there doing that as well. I usually just try and play the purerehua gently, not too vigorously, because you end up hurting your finger and getting blisters and all that sort of stuff. And also too, there's a risk that you're going to hit something, or hit yourself, you know. So hoi anō, those are some of my whakaaro around how we utilise the purerehua as a healing tool and a healing practice, and a whorongo, eh? And again, they're just my experiences. I wouldn't say that I'm any kind of authority on that, but I do practice it a lot, and my focus has been to move away from the performance of taonga puoro. And I've really, for a long time now, I've been focusing on the rongoa of the taonga puoro. And so these are some of the experiences I'm able to share with you from that, utilising them as healing tools for, thousands of our whānau. So, and what I just talked about and shared with you in terms of the funnel of the purerehua is, so that was with a person, but we can also do that on our whenua. We can come in and we can utilise that for clearing. I think I started off my kōrero by saying that we use it in tangihana, and that's what we do. Usually we'll play the purerehua as our taonga atu papaku's going, being lowered down into kōpua papatsuanuku, going down into the grave. That's when we'll play our purerehua. And that's just some etahi kōrero way. Not to forget that it's really important that we go back to our own people and to our own whānau, and we go back to the marae and pata atu ki tō kui, tō karaua, to your people, because there's not just one set general way of doing things, and it's the same in taonga puoro as well. There's no one set way. There's many ways, as my koro used to say, there's many ways over the maunga, and it's about finding our own and honouring our tūpuna, and how we do that is by, collecting the kōrero from our tūpuna, not just, there are books on taonga puoro, and there's some really beautiful ones too, but for me, and my thing is, it's really only the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more under there if we just go back to those people and places where we're from, and then we can start to formulate our own kōrero and sharing, and that's all I'm doing here in this one. I just wanted to, I think whakaaro just popped in, and it's because I'm really speaking here to our Māori whānau. And so if I'm talking to our Pākehā whānau, which, I do have a lot of friends that are Pākehā that are in the puoro space, and they're playing puoro and making puoro, and it's great. We've had the example of Matua Rihari Nuns, Richard Nuns, and Matua Brian, of Pākehā being in the space, and contributing, to the kaupapa. So, ka nui te mihi, and what I think and what I'm seeing in these times is that sometimes it looks like it's being taken too far away from the essence of our mātauranga Māori, and it's must be remembered that this is mātauranga Māori. It's not a hybrid mixture, otherwise it starts getting very diluted and then we're going off the track. And so through whānau Pākehā, they might be listening to this. This is not an attack, but it is a whittle to, to remember this is mātauranga Māori. And to be careful. I'm careful with it as much as I can be, and I'm answerable to my people, to my kuia and makarau, and to my whānau, so that in a way that keeps me safe. And any kōrero that I share, that's coming from my direct lineage and my whānau in that way. But for our Pākehā whānau who might not have that, then ultimately for me it's about looking at the process of how the many have revived this, including Pākehā, but to know your place and be careful. And when I say that, kia tūpoto, that's, really that's about being careful, is about being full of care, to know that this is not yours, but you're welcome to be in the space. And I'd really love to say to our Pākehā whānau is, go back to your tūpuna. You've seen the way that it's been done, and our Māori people have shared that. Even in the instance of Matua Hirene and Matua Richard and their friendship, and Matua Brian, is that, they were able to spend time with Matua Hirene, and really, for me, not that I was there, but I think Māori welcomed those Pākehā whānau into the space. Yeah. And of course I'm not taking away from what those ones done, and all our ones at the moment, but sometimes I do see a difference. And so, he rongo anō, because it's some people find it hard to have the conversation. And while this is just my thoughts too, it's not a conversation, it's, some food for thought. And lastly, what I'd like to add to that is to reiterate, go back to your tūpuna and your direct lineage, whether that be Irish, Scottish, English, and start to look at how you can revive your taonga pūoro from your whakapapa. Yeah, I'd really love to see that happening. And it's like a puna, it's like a pool for me. If you stay in the pool too long, it starts to get stagnant, eh? And that's where some problems can happen. So, whakaoki ki tō puna, tō whakapapa, and it's really exciting. I spent some time in Ireland because I also have whakapapatu there, and I saw a movement happening there about 2 or 3 years ago, where a group of young aire, that's the tūturu name for Ireland, some tangata aire, they were reviving their taonga pūoro, and there was a lot of kōrero and a lot of practice there already around how they're utilising their taonga pūoro. So, I don't think that because you're born in Aotearoa that you disregard who your tūpuna are, because it's not that long ago that our whānau Pākehā came out, and so it's still there. And I feel like if we've made the effort to revive our practices, then, whai atu, te rāra, you follow them. There's already a process there. You can see, collect those pūrākau. It's very easy. Collect the pūrākau, take up the instrument of your ancestors and then play those two way. So koena taku wero kia rātou whānau Pākehā in the Puoro space. And as I mentioned, even sometimes the hard conversations, they're the most healing. So e nei rā te mea atu kia koutou, ka nui taroha.